To be 100% honest, I hate making videos like this today, but I feel like since I've spent enough time with this product and I can't find any other information or reviews online, that it's basically kind of my duty to put this out on the internet. So before I move forward to the E-Infinite team, whom of which sent this to me for free for a review, I apologize for what I'm about to say. What's up YouTube, Jason here with Byte My Bits, and in today's video I want to talk about a portable power station. It's called the Combokit, and it's made by a company called E-Infinite. So that's E-Infinite. As I hinted to in the intro, yes, they did send this over to me for a review, but that absolutely does not change what I have to say today. In fact, I bet they wish they would. To get the nitty-gritty specs out of the way, this is a 600 watt or 900 watt surge, 620 watt hour portable power station. It uses lithium-ion batteries that have a max cycle recharge of 700 cycles before you start to see, a diminished in power capacity. It can charge via solar up to 100 watts of input, or you can plug it into the wall and charge it as fast as 99 minutes. That's from dead to 100%. On the top, it has 4 USB outputs, one A, 2 quick chargers, and a C. It also has a standard DC out connection, and to the left, you can see a DC in connection. This is what you would use with a solar panel. This is actually the first time I personally ran into this connection, but they do in their little packet give you this like car charger that plugs into that DC and an AC adapter. So depending on what connections you have available on your solar panel, you might want to check to make sure it's compatible with this. On the side of the unit, you have a flip-up cover. This is also just to help it with like dust and water and stuff like that. You have this flip-up cover that exposes 2 AC outlets, both of which can handle up to 5 amps each. At 120 volts, 5 amps, do the math, that's supposedly 600 watts. It also has a standard car charger outlet. And then this is kind of like probably the reason why it caught my eye, but it has kind of a unique situation for the handle. Before I do this though, I do want to say it does feel a little loose. You pick it up and you think, is this going to fall out of my hand? It hasn't done that, but still, it's a little loose. Either way, you can disconnect one side of this and fold it up and the handle will stick up. And then this handle actually is a light. So you have a side light, so you can use it like a torch in Minecraft type of deal, or you have a somewhat narrow beam flashlight on the top. You can turn these on and off independently. And if you really wanted to, a couple different settings, it'll blink or it'll go dimmer, stuff like that. If you really wanted to, you could push the button. You can push the button. There you go. You can push the button and you can pull the handle off. It is detachable. So hypothetically, you take this out with you, you want to set it on your table and, have it super wobbly. You can set it on your camping area table and you can have a little torch light. It's not super bright at all. If you want to use the flashlight, it's got a little bit of a narrow beam and it's not terrible, but it is definitely narrow, hyper focus. So that's about the only way it seems bright. But it's still a detachable light source, technically, which in my opinion makes it somewhat unique. However, you might be thinking to yourself that if this attaches to the battery, that it probably charges off the battery. At least that was my expectation. It has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery built into this that is separate from this, but there is absolutely no direct connection between this battery and that battery at all. The only way to charge this is with a USB cable. So if you take this with you and you want to charge this independently, you have to take a USB cable, run it from the side or the top here, and plug it in manually. And that's not necessarily a huge deal breaker for me. I just thought it was kind of weird that you would have, this kind of a unique feature, but not have Feels weird to have this kind of a unique feature, but not have any way to charge it automatically when you plug it into the battery. So that just kind of seems like maybe this was an afterthought. I have no idea. Either way, it's something that I just find weird. Here's the kicker though. This thing, the suggested retail value is $779, and you're not gonna find it, at least at the time of this video, you're not gonna find it on Amazon. I've looked a lot. In fact, if you Google it, you're gonna have a hard time finding it as it is. It's from a company that is pretty much unknown. It has a 1-year warranty, but based off of not being able to find anything on the company or this product or having it through Amazon or anything like that, it's hard to say whether or not that 1-year warranty would ever become useful because, you know, I have no idea who these people are. There's no way to hold them accountable, I think. That's all speculation. That's just internal thoughts that I have. The company did provide me with their landing page, which is not even an e-infinite landing page. It's more like a different domain name with this product on it. They did provide me with a landing page, and that landing page says it is $569 on a special. So it's $570 after their special price. I don't know whether to consider the $570 the actual price, as in they will never try to sell it for more, or do I consider the $780 as the normal price, and you may or may not be able to get lucky and get it for $570. Either way, this is a 600 watt capable device with a storage capacity of 620 watt hours. That has a suggested retail value of $780 or $570 on sale. Those numbers alone give me pause. Because in order to ask for that much money for a device like this, you'd have to have a really solid product backed by a company that is going to guarantee that that product will work for probably 1 to 3 years. Not a company that, you know, you can barely find any information about online, if at all. It does have 2 outlets, and it is only 600 watts. It's not meant to go powering something big like a coffee maker, maybe like a camping coffee maker. I doubt it though, and let me tell you why. My standard go-to test that I like to start off with is a heat gun, because you can turn the heat gun on the lowest setting, draw 100 watts, and you can turn that dial up little by little, pull just a little bit more juice every little notch. This thing, however, does not handle a heat gun very well at all. Turning the heat gun fan on low, turning the heat all the way down, it starts off roughly around 88 watts. That's with the heat gun. But when I turn it up, it does not go up. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Essentially, as the heat gun is trying to pull more power to heat up the coils and turn up the fan, this thing just crumbles. So much so that I would go from 88 watts drawn to 104 watts drawn, and then just one little notch up would take it down to 60 watts drawn. So the inverter built into this portable power station just simply cannot handle a heat gun, even on the lowest settings. It is only until I really kind of crank it up a little bit that it can give me a spike up to about 300 watts. And it won't sustain it for long, but it did give me like maybe 350 for a few seconds before it went back down to less than 100 watts. So I switched it up a bit to something that still requires some juice to get going, but is not as hard hitting as a heat gun. A fan. It works, kind of, but not very well. The basic Walmart floor fan that I tested this with starts off about 64 watts, the middle setting is 75 watts, and the top end setting is 89 watts. That's off of the battery. I should note here that turning the fan on, getting it up to speed, and the weird noises that come from the motor because it's underpowered, because this thing is not pushing the amount of electricity needed or requested by the fan, is a little weird. I take that same fan, I plug it into the wall, it instantly jumps up to 93 watts. I take that fan, I plug it in this, turn it on high, and it takes a little bit to get up to 88 watts, but it's still not giving the full 93 watts that it takes from every other outlet in my house. So I tried something even easier, my studio lights. That's right. In my studio light right here, I have 5 bulbs that are in this little casing. They're CFLs. At any given point in time, I only use 3 in each one. But what that means is that I have 5 individual switches that I can plug in this light and turn on one light bulb at a time just to see if it's, gonna have any issues. And to get it right out of the way, no, the lights came on, they look normal, they're just as bright as they probably should be. Everything from my human eye seems normal. But I did find a discrepancy in how much power they're drawing, because from the wall, they draw 137 watts max. That's with all the lights on, that's just running. When I plug it into this, the max it'll go up to is 129 watts. In terms of a CFL light bulb, I really don't know if that's a big deal. All I'm recognizing here is a pattern. The heat gun cannot draw enough power. The fan draws less power, and it even sounds like it's underpowered. And my lights, they're not going full power either. And when I combine these, the fan, the lights, stuff like that, I really do have this gap of about 150 watts to about 300 watts before it'll kick in and actually power things on without the fan acting completely weird or not wanting to spin up. The lights never flickered, but they are CFL, so I don't know what that means. Maybe they're getting enough juice, maybe they're not. Either way, what I could tell is that the inverter built into this portable power station, for lack of better words, is garbage. On top of that, Life PO4, Life PALs, I like to call it, are kind of the latest rage. Yeah, they're a little bit more expensive, but they discharge faster, they charge faster, they last longer. Like, they're just kind of all the rage. This does not have that, because it only has 700 cycles of recharging before you go down to 80% efficiency of the batteries, which means it's using the old lithium batteries. You take the old style batteries, combine that with a really crappy inverter, and you have an overpriced combo kit. But that's not even the last thing I want to complain about. I have one more, and this is stupid, but I feel like it's important, and that is the screen. It has an LCD screen on the top. In order to turn this on, you push the button, the LCD screen on the top comes on. Just like that. The problem with the screen is that it is way too basic. The only information it gives you is what percentage of your battery is left. Like right now it says 57%, and how much time you have left on that battery. That's it. No other information whatsoever. There's no way to change it. There's no controls. There's no button. It's not touchscreen. It's just percentage and time, and that's it. So that meant in order for me to test this thing, I had to use an external device just to tell me how many watts are being drawn from this. And I'm sorry, but even if this is on sale for $580, you could have went for a better screen. Come on, give me some information. Tell me how much power I'm using. I mean, I want to know if I have some things plugged in at the campsite, like how much room do I have? Like, you know? And as far as I can tell, this thing has little to no overcurrent protection. Not that it can actually provide the overcurrent, but when I plugged in the heat gun and I turned it all the way up just to see what would happen, all it did was make the heat gun just muddle out and go down to like 60 watts drawn. It's like, all it could do is power the fan, but not even full speed, and the heat just kind of gave up. It just quit. It didn't turn off. It just didn't give you anything. So if you or anybody you know just happened to maybe run into some Facebook ad or something that told you this was a great deal and you stumbled upon this video, please take this wholehearted advice. Never buy this thing at all. Not only will it not perform up to spec, it will charge slowly, it won't last very long, and if you ever get lost in the dark with this flashlight, you're probably going to not make it. Like, even the handle flashlight sucks. And that was kind of what I thought could have been the coolest thing. Like, come on. Although they did give me two of them. They gave me a white one and a black one. I don't know if that comes with every one of them, if they all have a white and a black handle, just in case you want to carry a little torch flashlight with you and carry this, or if that was some, you know, reviewer bundle thing where they just like show you what the white looks like. I have no idea. All I know is that I can go on Amazon right now and look for something within the 600 watt range that has a roughly 600-ish, let me look at this. So this is 620 watt hour. You can get like 580 watt hour for $500 to $350. These are products that are actually on Amazon, which means they at least have a little bit of accountability that's between that company and Amazon that's going to guarantee that when you get this, it's going to work. It's not going to guarantee your warranty, but you know that they are somewhat legitimate because they have at least made it through the basic requirements to get approved to sell items through Amazon. Again, that's not like an end-all be-all guarantee this is a real company thing. I'm just saying, if you can't even make it to Amazon, or if you haven't yet, or you don't have your own website, like there's just a lot of red flags here, you know? That's all. That's what I'm pointing out. If this was a name brand Jackery that had an inverter that could handle 600 watts on the dot without having issues and had LifePal batteries in it, charged a lot faster, then yeah, maybe you could justify a $580 price. But as this thing sits right now, I wouldn't pay $100 for it because unless I needed to run something that was 100 watts or less, it would probably not work very well for me. So guys, I will link to their landing page that they sent me in the description down below. Again, I do not recommend you follow the landing page and or give your money to this company for this product. It is, and it pains me to say this, absolute garbage. I really do hate making videos that just completely trashes a product, but if you're gonna send out trash for review, that's what's gonna happen. So sorry, E-Infinite, I will never review one of your products again, because if this is any insight to what your company offers, well, I would just change my name. I mean, not that you had a name, but I would change it either way. Well guys, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure to leave those in the comments section down below. As always, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe below, and have yourself a great day. I have a shelf full of batteries. Some were better than others. Some that are my go-to, like my Pecron batteries. Those things are just stout, right? I have a shelf full of batteries that are just on standby, that are just charged up, ready to go. I've used occasionally for things, sometimes to power a server rack, whatever. They're on standby. I will not even desecrate that shelf with this thing. And I don't even want to give it away to somebody unless they like maybe if my family member is like, yeah, I want to use this to charge my phone or something, which is ridiculous because you can do that with any pack the size of this meter here. But whatever, it sucks. I'm done.